Two, three. Look and see. Here I am. I'm live, live, live. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining me. My name is Mary June Tracy, the Guru Mama, coming to you with 411 of the shenanigans of above, so below, all over the place. Could be here, could be there, could be everywhere. I feel like Dr. Seuss, maybe up, maybe down, maybe over there, maybe underneath there. Who knows what's going on in your world? There might be a little bit of noise in the back, and that's because Mateus is watching a game on YouTube and stuff. So he's there chomping on some apples. He starts school on Thursday. Thursday. 2 days, and Mateus starts school. Grade 4, people. So for those who have followed me for quite some time, you have seen Mateus from a wee little babe until he is now 9 years old. One more year until he is double digits. And yeah, grade 4, man. Whew. What a climb that. What a climb. Wow, what do we have today? There's a few things. Oh, he's going to make an appearance. Oh, he's making an appearance. There he is. There he is. Hi, everybody. There's Mateus. Thank you for making an appearance. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. You know, it's about big pivots. That's today. Today is about big pivots and these big pivots. And it's a lot of change. There's been a lot of change in the last 3 weeks. And it's where the party's almost there, but you just don't want to go in too much on the party. You just don't want to go in too much, because what you might find is you just don't want to go overboard. So don't be going overboard, right? Don't be going overboard. And it could be like, it feels like, you're standing outside of the candy store and you're seeing all the candy and you're seeing all of it and you're just like, but it's not open yet. So you're kind of making the choices. You're kind of looking at it, seeing what's there, seeing what's happened. And there's a lot of positives. So, I tell you when it's good and I tell you when it's bad. So right now it's not bad. It's not bad. The energies are pretty good. The moon is still in Gemini, right? Gemini, so it's moving forward. So we have this sort of movement forward. We're just into Virgo season, so really wanting to get things organized. You got to think, back to school is Virgo season. Makes sense, doesn't it? Like if you look at how the seasons go. So back to school is like Virgo season. You got to get organized, got to get things together. You're a little bit all over the place because it's, back into the season. We're back into coming into some more harvest coming in. A lot of people are doing their pickling and their jamming and all of that kind of stuff. So we have that's going on as well. So you have all of this kind of things that are sort of coming together and culminating together. And in a couple days, I think tomorrow or maybe the next day, one thing just didn't stick in my head, but Mercury's going to direct. So Mercury's going direct. And so it gives us a chance to really look over the last 3 weeks. What's been going on? How have you been heading? How things have been, going forward? What are the new turns in your life? What has sort of stayed constant? And what are things that maybe you've had new ideas on or new opportunities coming in the door that you need to take, maybe a little bit of mulling over, or maybe it's just like, oh, okay. It's not quite there yet. As I said, you're looking outside, you're looking at, the candy, and maybe it's not a candy store for you. Maybe it's something else. Maybe you're just doing some window shopping and it's that, I don't know, a new car, or maybe it's, and I got lingerie shop coming in my head. I don't know why. Maybe it's the new lingerie. Maybe you're outside of Victoria's Secret and you're just looking at that outfit and you're just like, I need that bra. That bra I want, it could be whatever, right? So, but it's not open. So it's just allowing yourself. So take another, walk around the block, take some time to mull things over. That's where it's at right now, baby. So it is where, these steps are going forward. Now, what I found so, as I say, the devil shows its head when it's ready to show its head, and the devil is showing its head. I mean, we have a few crazy things that have come in. Uh Zucky baby, the Zucky baby of, the metaverse. 2 more days before Declan goes to see you. That's beautiful. Yeah. So we have the Zuckerberg, coming out and admitting things, admitting the things that some, I can't really say what he admitted, but he admitted. But you can post it. I posted up on my Instagram story where he admitted about complying with an administrative bodies about certain things that went out there, and even with humor and satire. So he's admitting, what is it? What I think I read, it's that a tough one to accept. Had he allowed even relevant questions about the lockdown and the elixir, he would not have been so committed to shutting down information. He allowed censorship based on public sentiment and not science. Very interesting with this coming out, and with it coming up as we are in election season in the United States. So that's coming up about his admittance to that. And you know what? He is a Taurus. I mean, if you ever looked at him, he has those cowy eyes, those big cowy eyes. Yeah. No, doughy eyes. I don't have the doughy eyes. I have to go like that. Big doughy eyes and just sort of look at you. So he has that's going on. So that came out. That was quite interesting, I found. And I find that funny, I find that funny as, we have Uranus is going to be going, he's stationing, he's a big planet. So Uranus is stationing and he's going to be going retrograde on the September 1st. And we also have Pluto in the next, what is it, 7 days, 6 days, for because 7 days till the new moon and 21 days till the full moon. I've been posting that up on my Facebook as well. We have 6 days until Pluto goes in to Capricorn. So it's amazing, all of this rhetoric is coming out as we also have the cray cray of a issue of emergency of authorization of the new even of the on Omnicron. That sounds like a transformer, and some other stuff that's coming out. But there's two people that are allowed to make this new elixir, and it is one that starts with an M and one that starts with a P, but you don't pronounce the P. So those are the two techs that are going to be making the new elixir. And there's no, you know what? I mean, who needs them? Who needs a clinical trial? Like, well, you don't need it because these are trusted people. Come on. I mean, the P dude and the M dude, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? I don't know. But anyways, not that there's anything to do with emergency room visits that have been up since certain things have happened, or hospitalization, or even when it comes to, heart issues. Like, fuck me. Like, give me a fucking break. Okay, what else is going on? I mean, and I just love it when I look at the astrology and it's so positive. All of this stuff, this is just before Pluto starts going into Capricorn. So we're going to start seeing some cray shit that's coming down. Right to even our lovely Mr. Man with the hair, the cute guy with the hair. Um, wanting to really halt things. And even, even though I heard the whistle today, because I'm not far from the tracks. So I heard a whistle today. But I haven't heard as many whistles today as I usually do. Um, but something to do that he's halting it still. Like there's a halt, or people, those who are wanting to have better working conditions are really pushing back on this. So, and it's almost that, somebody don't want people to be eaten. Don't want people to be eaten. Somebody. And even here, I mean, we think little things like, oh, there's another crack. Yes, the water's not flowing. There's another crack in the water. Oh my God. We don't realize how evil works, and how that is seen, right? A lot of times people are just like, oh, well, we got to do our part, and we got to do our restrictions, and we got to do this because we don't want anybody else to be hurt, and we don't want anybody else to go out, right? Well, this is how it works. When you get those negative thoughts in your head, I'm not good enough, or I can't do that, or oh my God, this is like, oh, you know what? I'm going to step on somebody's toes, or oh, you know what? Maybe, I should just hold back a bit. Whatever those thoughts are, that's the evil in, that's the negative, that's all of that bullshit that wants to keep you down. RFK was on Tucker, and he was talking about protection of nature and how important it is, the protection of nature, because Mother Nature gives us so much. She gives us bounty, she gives us majesty. She is, I mean, when you look at the Rocky Mountains, aren't you in awe? I sure, every time I drive out to Banff, it's like, holy fuck, this is really something, right? This is really something. Or I drive into the Okanagan Valley, and, following Okanagan Lake all the way to Penticton and stuff like that. And you see just the diversity of the weather as you go from Vernon all the way down to Penticton, and the changes. And nature is divine. Ain't Nature is divinity. Nature is your connection. When you are being taken away from nature, when you are being subject to not interact with nature, or it's being told to you that, oh, this isn't a good thing, maybe you shouldn't go into, all these fears, like, fears, oh, you're going to get a tick, or oh my God, that's just too much, you can't go out there, or so many things are told to you of, don't go into nature, when that is the divinity, that is the divine, that's the segregation. Take you away from nature, take you away from the divine. In England right now, the Church of English, oh God, I called it the church. The Church of England, they don't want to use the word church. They want to use, gathering in worship or community. And fine and dandy. Those are very powerful words within themselves. But there's something about having the sanctity of the church. Now, I'm not going on religious, but I'm just saying, when they start taking these words away from you, when they start taking the words away from you, what does that mean to your everyday life? When they start taking nature away from you and getting you to say, oh, you know what? You're better off in this little 15-minute city, or you're better off in this little box. What is that saying to your mental health? What is that saying to your connection? We want to cut you off. We want to cut you off. I do. I love to go into a church, right? Even different, not just Catholic churches, but just going into different churches and just sitting in and just seeing the awe and the majesty, and What, if you look at some of the the old cathedrals, they're built like a mountain. They're built with a connection, like a mountain, a connection, you know, what however you want to see it. But taking words and changing them. It's just like, having, I'm a them now. Like, how could you be a them? Isn't a them more than one, or a they, or whatever it is? Wanting to change vocabulary, wanting to change the meaning of things. And when you're starting to do that, that gets you into another space of control. When you look at the diversity of words and the meaning or the complexity of words and where words were derived from, it's just sometimes it just boggles your mind. It's like, that's where it comes from. Oh my God. You know, like we don't think of it. Like the word boycott, which is a word that I can't say again on here because it is a word that is censored. Now, that was actually somebody's last name. He was an Englishman who went to Ireland. And when he went to Ireland, he went to Ireland to work with the lords and of the landlords, right? And back then you had serfs. So the serfs were the people that worked for the landlords, the people who uh, tended the fields, made the milk, made the bread, did all of these, things that for now, people will call them entrepreneurials, right? But these are people who were the serfs. They worked for the land. He worked for the landlord. And the thing was, is that he's the one who went around and started collecting. Now he thought it would be because he didn't think that they were working hard enough or working long enough hours. I mean, most of them work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, maybe no Sundays. They're allowed to have Sundays for their daily obligations. So he would go around and he started to put more taxes, more restrictions on them. And what the people started to do, and especially came into rent, he wanted to raise rents up. And so a association, a renters association got together, which was illegal, like an illegal association got together and banned these people. But they couldn't come out in public to say this is what they did. What they did is that they ignored him. They didn't talk to him. They didn't serve him. If he called them, he walked by as if they were deaf. When he came to knock on the doors, nobody would answer because they couldn't hear the door, right? Because, who is that person? And it even went, and his family were being affected because his kids, when they went to school, would not be, they weren't, nobody would associate with him anymore. His wife wouldn't be served when she went into to the store, to the grocers to buy the meat or the eggs or whatever. And so that's where the word boycott came out. It was from him. It got so bad that they had to send him back to England because anywhere he went in Ireland, his name was known and people would not serve him. And they had to actually get a special ship to ship him back. So they even had to put him. They're like, okay, we can't deal with this guy anymore. We're gonna put him on a special boat to bring him back because nobody wanted to serve him. Nobody wanted to deal with him. Power of the people. Power of the people. But amazing, that's where that word came from. And when you start looking into it, so when you start not being allowed, like me not being allowed to say that even here, think about it. Why? Many people have been, when they say those certain words and they say these things, your things get I even posted something and they said it. I gotta go find it again. And it wasn't anything bad. It was actually a motivational little poster that I've been posting up lately. And Mr. Zucker thought it wasn't appropriate. It wasn't appropriate. It's like even for me to buy me a coffee. I had a really pretty one that I made up with roses and stuff like that, and it didn't meet their guidelines. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been posting it. But if I write it out, buy me a coffee, it's okay. But if I did this on this poster, it got pulled down, it got flagged. It's amazing. It's amazing. So even when you start talking about, and you're going to see when you start talking more about water, or you start talking about gardening and sharing gardening, you're going to find within the next little while that things are going to be restricted, or you're not going to be allowed to talk about that because of guidelines. You're going to have to find other ways to bring out that information. That's why I said it was so important for anybody who is a canner, a gardener, is to start groups. Start a group. Don't be afraid. Really. I mean, you might get two people, and if you know how to mix manure with soil, or if you know how to do things. I know there's one beautiful Lisa as posts beautiful things out there, and the things that she does, and the juices, and she just made some doggy snacks with liver and all this kind of stuff, right? She's been posting these things. This is great. This is great. If you're able to do that, because we're able to do that right now, and start a community or even start a small group, that's going to be extremely important as we are going with Pluto back into Capricorn. Now, Pluto back into Capricorn is going to raise some crazy shit that we haven't seen. Well, we have seen, but it's going to really, and that's what Pluto does. Pluto loves to bring this seediness, the underhandedness, the darkness of shit, and bring it right up to the surface. And that's what he's going to do at 29 degrees. 29 degrees is that crazy degrees when you're in astrology, and 0 degrees is like, whoa. When I see somebody who's like a 0 degrees in a sign, like you are like, it's like the new kid just took on everything, right? It's just crazy. The other crazy thing that I just been seeing is that Mr. T has decided to take things that Mr. P has been saying here in Canada for a long time, because it's like, and this is when you know somebody's just like a narcissist. It's like, I'm going to take this all away from you. Oh, okay, I'm going to bring it back for you. You can have this now. Look, isn't this a great idea? So now he's going to start doing some mass deportation. Now this is all part of what you're going to start seeing, because he is wanting to be in the good graces, because he wants your vote, right? So it's interesting what you're going to see. You even heard it with the DNC and Kamala. Did I say her name right? Kamala. Saying that this is what I'm going to do for you now. And you're like, fuck, bitch, you've been in there for the last 4 years. What the fuck you been doing, girl? you know, now you're gonna do it. Now you're saying you're gonna promote this? Like, excuse me? What what the hell you been doing? So we're gonna be seeing the two tongues coming out, right? The forked tongue. We're gonna start seeing that. We're going to be seeing it here in Canada. We're going to be seeing it, in England. We're going to be seeing it all on the in the western area, where this forked tongue is going to be coming out very, and with Mercury going forward in the next, we're going to be start seeing it here, there, and everywhere. And Neptune is sitting still retrograde. He's moving backwards, but he is sitting there and he's saying, you know what? I'm going to give you even more propaganda. I'm going to give you even more bullshit for you to just feed on, and see if you're able to decipher where the darkness is and where the light is, where the connection is that you need to make with your divine and stay in your light. Or are you going to get fed into the darkness, into the hollow? And that's powerful shit. Now, just on a fun note, for those who are in my age group, there's a new trend going on, and I think it's quite hilarious. And the trend is called Roper Romps. Roper Romps is, if you remember Three's Company and Mrs. Roper, it is where a pup crawls, where people are dressing up as Mrs. Roper, and they are calling it Roper Romps. Can you imagine? I think that would be, first of all, what's so cool about that, you get to wear a muumuu. You get to wear a muumuu and go out and party. That would be great. I get to wear the muumuu and I feel comfortable all night long. I don't have to put on anything tight, and you get to wear the sandals. So you're wearing comfortable. The red wig, I don't care. Put on the red curly wig on and the glasses and have a good time. So could you imagine? I just want to wear the muumuu. I could care less about anything else. Just give me the muumuu. And then you get to wear, the funky earrings that she wore. And I think she had a rattan bag. And I know too much about this, don't I? So, but I think wearing the muumuu is like, I think that's going to be my new dress, is wearing the muumuu. So so much as you see, as above so below is coming out, and it's just crazy how much more is coming out about all of this. Oh, and the bracelets, the big bangled, yes, the bangled bracelets, got to have that. um Mariah Carey just came, just going on another note, just flashed up on my thing. And Mariah Carey is trending because she says that her mother and sister both died on the same day last weekend. Weird. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, the bulky. Oh, yeah. I love the big ear. Yeah, the rings and everything else. Yeah. So I just thought I just love those kind of synchronicity kind of things that come out, you know? So just bringing in a little bit of the synchronicity and stuff like that that's going on. But there you go. The cray cray of the world today, as above, so below. So don't get stuck in the mud. You might feel like you're stuck in the mud. You might feel like you're stuck in the mud, but know that whatever you're reaching for is there. All right. You just have to wait a little bit, and the store is going to open, and you're going to be able to walk through, and you're going to be able to receive what it is that you would like to receive. Let me pull out a couple cards for you. Yeah, new opportunities are around the corner. We got our own MOMO group. Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. So coming in with the craziness. I am so Declan Joe, who lives up north, she's going to be going to Moose Jaw. So I think that is so cool to go see Charlene. So if any of you have been in any of my classes, you might have met the two, but the two have never met. So the two will be meeting. The Virgo and the Leo are meeting. That's going to be a fun meeting. So exciting. Oh, good news on my part. I finally got a hold of my doctor, and I'm able to get in to go see him. So I'm going to see him tomorrow. So finally, he's only open like 2.5 days a week. And usually when I called, it was either nobody's here to take your call at this time. And I'd call at different times, like, oh, well, maybe it's their lunch hour. And I'd call like, an hour or so later, and the same message, or it's a recording. So I finally got in. So I'm going to go see my doctor, which is great because I need to have that for my, because of my accident that I had. And I go to physio this week. So my first time physio in 2 weeks. I can hardly wait for that. I never thought I would enjoy physio so much, but I'm really looking forward to the physio this week. So having that, so two, like stepping in the right directions kind of thing, which I need, because I know for my own self, it's just yeah, I could, I was speaking to a lovely lady, one of my peeps. Anyways, and the things that she's been going through, and the trials and tribulations of her life, and I could really feel, like the heaviness of everything that she's gone is going through. Also, like and to know like she's not alone. There's so many that are going through craziness, whether it's through mental breakdown, um, whether it's through um and she's not the only one. Like I've had at least 3 or 4 clients come in and tell me that they got shingles, which is, not a fun thing to get, but to have that. And then where they one person had to be off work for a couple months because of it, and how debilitating it was for her. And the other person just got it mildly, and she's only having to take off 3 or 4 days of work and stuff like that. So the craziness that's out there, that people are going out there. So even though you may not know the people, or you may not know, just send positive vibes out there, send out prayers to people, allowing for that positive energy just to reflect and go out, and sending out blessings of love and light and pure source energy. When you're doing that, that's really helping to create, even though you might not think it's going anywhere, but those little pieces of prayer dust, I'm going to call it, will land where it needs to land. So make sure that you're sending out blessings of love and light, pure source energy, throughout your day, and as you're going through everything, right? So here we go. First card. Oh, we got the hermit outside upside down. So the hermit upside down. The hermit upside down. He's upside down. It's like a lot of times it's like, let's take time for reflection, right? Let's take time and go within. When he's reversed, it's like, no, don't be taking any more time. Let's get out there. Let's get motivated. Let's get going. If there's something there that you want to start, if there's something there that you want to do, this is about, this is in like opportunities to reestablish a sense of strength within existing relationships, for you to really, where is it that I want to grow? Where is it, who do I want to grow with? This is where it's like, when you're coming to, you might have been struggling to connect with your higher self. You're struggling to connect with that of your divine. This is where you need to set, some time aside to do that, as you are stepping outside, right? So not just always going internally and being by yourself. So this is where it's like in allowing yourself to take time to connect, find new ways of connecting with your divine. And that could be a walk in nature, right? Because nature is divine. Maybe it is finding a local church, and find out when it's open. Not all churches are open, because there's really stupid people out there that do stupid things. But maybe, you've never been in a Jewish synagogue and you're like, oh, I want to go into a Jewish synagogue. There's a Buddhist temple here in Calgary. You can go into a Buddhist temple. They love to, at least when I went, they love to take you on tour. They do. They love to show you things. Maybe it's a Sikh temple. You've never been to a Sikh temple. They're very open. They will, you contact them, they will show you the temple, right? So taking that time to find new ways in order to connect, and allowing you to detach yourself from a group or a presence of others for a short while. So maybe it's just changing things around. Maybe this is too heavy for you right now, so that you can reestablish yourself, reestablish with what you need to reestablish yourself with, and have that connection, and know that, what, things aren't going to always be so rosy and beautiful, which is fine. It's fine. We know that this is making you stronger. This is getting you to be more constructive planning, allowing you to come into, and not just, oh, I'm just going to go out there and do it. This is getting you to really look at it. It's the sun's in Virgo. The sun's in Virgo. How do we get the plan going? What's my list? Over optimizing may be a jeopardy at this time. So don't over optimize things, right? I know the moon is in Gemini right now, and we have Mercury, we have Mars there, and we do have Jupiter there. And it's like, yeah, let's go, let's get things done. And I want to do, no, let's just take a step back, really look at your plan. We're heading into September. So as we are heading into September, look at the things that you want to plan out for your fall. What are the things you want to do? Maybe you want to start, maybe it's the decorating of your house for Halloween, or for Thanksgiving, or whatever it is. Maybe you want to take some time and just, instead of throwing things up, take some time to decorate it. I was watching this cute little witch on YouTube, and she has a tree, a Christmas tree that she keeps up all year round, and she changes the decorations on it according to the seasons. How cool is that? And she's a Virgo. She's a Virgo. So she takes time, and she has where she sets out new, as she's coming into fall. So she's really planning out and taking time of the things and the meaningful things she wants to put on her tree, and the different decorations that she wants to put up around her house. And I thought, oh, that is so good. Man, I love that idea. Not that I would do it personally, but I just love the effects and the energy. And she goes, it just helps her, it helps to shift, the energies within her home. And I'm like, yeah, definitely. Like changing your furniture around, if you can, really changes things around. So this is to take some time to nurture your talents, nurture the things that you want to nurture, right? And this is about taking the time in order for you to manifest those dreams, taking that in, right? Looking at it with new ideas, new perspective, because then comes the Lady of Abundance. She comes in for you. She's got Venus there, and Venus is in Virgo. Even though she's almost out of Virgo, she's almost celebrating right now, so she can go home to Libra. But she's there, and she's saying, "You know what? Let's get together. Let's look at the things that we've organized, so we can step into the relationships we want to have. So we can step into the joy and the abundance we want to bring forth into our lives." So this is where the wisdom is. This is the higher realms. This is a card. This is the second major arcana card, right? So we have the card, the major arcana. We have this energy, this persona coming forth that wants to have us to trust our inner voice to come forth, so we can manifest and create the beautiful things and the relationships we want to create. And that's why I say it's so important to start with small community, small people. Maybe it's one, two, or three people that you want to exchange recipes with or exchange ideas. If you knit, if you crochet, if you sew, if you are a woodworker or what have you, if you're very good at restoring things and you want to create and you want to teach people, that's a beautiful thing to start doing, because you're reaching out and creating a new community. There you go. I want you all to have a beautiful day. May the Lord and Lady watch over all of you and all that you say and all you be and all you do. If you want to buy me a coffee, definitely you can buy me a coffee. You can e-transfer the gurumama@gmail.com. If you're wanting me to send you a link, I can send you a link. You just tell me the amount and I can send you a link for that if you want. Also, I am booking on Tuesdays and Thursdays if you are wanting to connect with me and get your natal chart or get a reading done and connections done. So have a blessed day, everybody, and we will talk to you all tomorrow sometime. We'll see how the day goes, because I'm on an adventure tomorrow to go see the doctor, and that's going to be an interesting bus ride, to say the least. Blessed be everybody.